Most gardeners think seedlings grow because of soil, water, and sunlight alone. That's the simplified version. It's also why many seedlings come out weak, uneven, or slow no matter how carefully they're managed. The real issue often starts earlier, at the hormonal level inside the plant. If those internal growth signals don't activate properly during early development, the plant never builds momentum. You can keep adding nutrients, but the system underneath is still unstable. That's the mistake most people never see. Before we go deeper, I want to ground this in real garden conditions. I use a 4-in-1 soil moisture meter that measures soil moisture, pH, temperature, and sunlight intensity in real time. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. https://amazon.to/43opmch. One thing it consistently reveals is that many healthy-looking seedlings are actually under stress from unstable moisture and temperature shifts in the top soil layer, especially during early germination. And that's exactly where natural hormones change everything. The mistake most gardeners don't realize they're making. Most people think plant hormones are something artificial or lab-made. But plants already produce their own hormones naturally. Auxins, cytokinins, gibberellins, these are internal chemical signals that control root formation, stem strength, leaf expansion, and overall growth direction. The mistake is ignoring this system completely and focusing only on external feeding. That's like trying to fix a machine by adding more fuel while ignoring how the engine is being controlled. Why seedlings depend more on signals than nutrients at the seedling stage. Plants are rarely nutrient limited. They are signal limited. Inside the seed, there's already enough stored energy to begin growth. What determines success is whether the plant correctly activates root growth, upward shoot development, and leaf formation in balance. If hormonal signaling is weak or delayed, you get stretching, slow rooting, or unstable seedlings, even in rich soil. This is where natural hormone activation becomes powerful. It doesn't feed the plant. It organizes it. How I use natural hormone activation in real gardens. I keep this method simple because consistency matters more than complexity. One of the most effective natural sources of growth hormones comes from fresh sprouts, especially mung beans or lentils. At the early sprouting stage, when the root tip just begins to appear, hormonal activity is at its highest. That's the exact moment I use. I take a small handful of these sprouts and blend them with about 1 liter of clean, non-chlorinated water. Then I strain the mixture to remove solids. What remains is a mild, biologically active liquid that carries natural growth signals. This is not fertilizer. This is a growth regulator made from living plant activity. How to apply it correctly without causing imbalance. This is where most gardeners go wrong. They assume more is better. It's not. In seed trays, I apply a light dose around the base every 4 to 6 days during early growth. The goal is consistent signaling, not saturation. If you overapply it, you lose the subtle hormonal effect and create uneven root behavior. In raised beds, I only apply it right after transplanting seedlings. That's when plants are under stress and most responsive to growth signals. In hydroponic systems, I use a heavily diluted version only during early root formation stages, then stop once the plant stabilizes. Timing matters more than quantity. What actually changes inside the plant when this method works correctly. The differences are structured, not random. Roots establish faster and spread more evenly. Stems become thicker instead of weak and stretched. Leaf development becomes balanced instead of oversized or delayed. But the most important change is stability. Seedlings stop behaving unpredictably. No sudden stalling. No weak elongation. No uneven tray growth. That stability is what creates strong transplants later. Why chemical boosters don't give the same result. Most commercial boosters focus on pushing growth through nutrients or synthetic regulators. The problem is timing. If a seedling hasn't properly activated its internal growth system, forcing it to grow faster increases stress instead of strength. That's why you often see fast early growth followed by weakness later. Natural hormone activation works differently. It supports the plant's internal timing instead of overriding it. You're not forcing growth. You're aligning it. The hidden factor most gardeners miss. Healthy seedlings are not just about size, they are about coordination. Root growth, stem development, and leaf expansion must stay balanced. If one part accelerates too fast, the entire system becomes unstable. Natural hormone signals help keep that balance during the most sensitive stage of development. That's why seedlings treated this way often perform better even weeks after transplanting. the early structure carries forward. Underscore where this method performs best. I've tested this across seed trays, raised beds, and container systems. It performs best in soil-based environments with active microbial life, because biology helps amplify natural signaling. Using the soil meter, I consistently see stronger responses when moisture stays stable in the root zone. If moisture fluctuates too much, the effect becomes weaker and less consistent. So this method works best when paired with stable growing conditions, not random environments. Underscore final thought. If you want consistently strong seedlings, stop focusing only on feeding plants and start focusing on regulating them. Growth is not just nutrition, it is coordination. Once you understand how natural hormones guide early development, you stop guessing and start controlling plant performance from the beginning. If this approach made sense, subscribe to Farmogic because next I'll show how to combine hormone activation with sprout-based extracts for even faster and more stable seedling growth. Real gardening success doesn't come from doing more, it comes from understanding what the plant is actually trying to do.